The facts matter.
Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is March 13th, 2020. Happy Friday to everyone. You know, it's very unfortunate that at times a scam artist is allowed to continue to do damage to people even after years of the watchdog groups attempting to try to warn others. Such is the case with April LaJune. And I'm going to refresh everyone's memory with regards to a video that I did about a year ago having to do with April, when she claimed that she had never heard of anybody complaining before about her specific scams. Well, there's been an uptick again with regards to people coming to either my channel and making comments or forwarding on the petition that is up against April and making comments on there saying, hey, she's scamming people. She has not stopped. She just laid low for a few months and started all over again. Please, can you help us do something? So what I'm going to do is contribute by walking you through a video that I did about a year ago of what was going on then, and then I'm going to show you what's going on now. Now, April LaJune is one that has actually been a con artist her entire life, or at least the majority of her life that her adult children are aware of. And if you look at the playlist that's going to be in the description of this video, you'll see that both her son and daughter, that are both adults and have their own families and have gone no contact with April, are both asking for help because of the fact that she continues to do damage by harming people financially through her scams. They speak out in their own words, along with her previous operations manager and her previous audio manager, who was assisting her with her videos when she first started the scam back in 2017. This scam has to do with a Sovset ideology that has been a scam for over 40 years. It's called the redemption scam. This particular scheme has more to do with trying to get you to believe that the government has open accounts on you, or that you have a stupendous large amount of bonds somewhere, and they're hiding them from you. Now, this has been researched to death on this channel. Matter of fact, when I started this channel back 4 years ago, I started it for the purpose of trying to help people from getting scammed by this specific scheme. The redemption scheme has been around for 40 years. It was started by a man named Roger Elvick, who happened to be someone who did not like people of the darker skin persuasion. The reason he came up with this was at the time he was serving some time having to do with tax evasion. And he noticed that he was getting a lot of attention by making these speeches about what the government is and isn't doing and what they have done that people are supposedly not aware of. He started coming up with this scheme in order to try to get people in trouble by providing information on how you would submit a bill to the actual treasury in order for them to pay it based on the fact that supposedly you have a secret account. None of this is actually true. None of it's ever been proven, and it's something that has gotten a lot of people put away. Filing UCCs was something that was come up with a little bit later, and Roger Elvick went back to prison for attempting to try to do these things. Now, Roger has since passed away many, many years ago, but it was heavily going on in the 90s. Since then, people like Heather Ann Tucci and Randall Keith Bean, who are serving between the two of them 20 years in prison because of this scam from 2017. Heather received 5 years and Randy received almost 15. They are currently still serving in a federal prison. At that time, because there were so many people that were collecting large sums of money on all kinds of platforms through social media, April LaJune decided to start this scam by using Anna Von Reit's paperwork. None of it has ever worked, and many, many people have found themselves having to pay large fines from the Treasury and finding themselves in trouble with offices that they have filed bogus paperwork with, including UCC ones. Many people have been fined at a $5,000 fee per instance where they attempted to use an A for V in order to charge off debt through the Treasury. They warn you once, and after that, they start assessing fees and fines for filing fraudulent and frivolous paperwork. I've shown this many, many times over the last several years, and I've tried to warn people as much as possible. In addition, April is all over mainstream news. All over mainstream news as a con artist, running a scam on social media platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Most recently, my understanding is that her original Twitter has been removed, but she has, of course, started another one. The situation is very sad because April never stays in one place for very long. She went from being in Ignacio, Colorado to Durango, Colorado, and then somewhere in Arizona, supposedly. Then she was nowhere where anyone could find her, and most recently showed back up apparently in Missouri. Now, I've been contacted on and off by her children and by previous people who thought that April was their friend, including a couple of employees that have had damage done to them and their credit through trying to assist April back when they thought she was doing something good. And they've kept track of where she's at and what's happening with her. Now, we are aware that law enforcement is watching and knows what's going on. However, without, or I will say, having this individual having been moved so many times, and the FBI actually attempting to try to get enough of complaints into their office, because many people do not want to complain when they've been scammed. It's embarrassing to them. Means that she is at the lower end of the list in terms of people that they're going to go after. So the more that people keep their mouths shut about this and don't speak out to law enforcement, but rather put up posts or comments online, it's not doing you the amount of good that it would if you actually turned it into your local FBI office. If anybody has an issue with April LaJune and has been scammed and wants to know where do I turn it in at, you are more than welcome to email me at virgotriad@protonmail.com, and I will give you contact information of where they are keeping track. Now, with regards to what previously has happened, I have a listing of well over 40 people that have contacted me previously with regards to her initial scam that started somewhere around November of 2017. Those people, it took about 8 months to determine that she had scammed them because of all the paperwork and hoops that she makes you jump through. Now, apparently, we have a second round that has come up, and it's because April, once again, has been running her scam for about 5 months. Once people start getting things back in the mail and start getting fined and fees from the government, that's when they become suspicious and start looking up what is online about her and how other people have had damage done to them. Over the last 3 months, there has been an uptick in the petition that went up in 2018 asking Google to remove April from YouTube. At that time, that was where she was primarily doing her damage. There have been over 100 people that have signed that petition in the last 3 months. Once again, we're coming around the corner to those of you that would have signed up with April 4, 5, and 6 months ago on this new batch of scams that she's got going with the UCC1 and TDA account stuff accepted for value, all of that, and you're going to be finding that you will no longer be able to have your questions answered. She will stop talking to you when you start asking them, and you will not be able to get a return on your money. There is a reason why April doesn't accept things like PayPal. There is a reason why April no longer is monetized on YouTube. It is because of her scamming. It is because nobody wants to have any affiliation from a business standpoint with April any longer. I'm going to go ahead and play this video for you because it's important that all of you have the opportunity to see what was happening back in 2017, 18, and now 19 that made it to where this video was a necessity to get out there. I will be stopping it intermittently to make some actual comments. Please, don't judge anything until you have the opportunity to see everything that I'm about to show you. You're going to see here that this is one of the articles I was referring to. The Durango Herald actually did a expose on April and how she was defrauding customers. Here is a complaint from a 65-year-old woman that she stole from. And of course, a comment from my comment section. Does anyone know what April's address is? She needs it to file a complaint. The person she's referring to there has to do with the Federal Trade Commission, which also deals with scams. If your UCC has been denied, now you can see why. It's denied on damn near everyone. Here is, of course, another person which actually has videos up from interviews on my channel, Penny. She was taken by April LaJune also. Penny is disabled and has had a stroke. April loves to take advantage of those that have less, much less, and of course, disabled and several elderly too. So this is a person that commented on April's channel, actually, who has been fined the $5,000 frivolous filing fee that attempted A for V based on her and her instructions. Whenever you get to the point where you recognize that you've been scammed, you attempt to try to warn other people, as naturally any decent person would. That's when you immediately become blocked and no longer have your phone calls answered. This is a person who served 4 months in jail due to filing a fraudulent UCC upon April's instructions. And April simply claims, you need more paperwork. So, of course, it was this person's fault. Thomas Reinhardt worked for April in the very office that she did this scam in and was completely unaware that it was a scam. But there was also another scam going on at the same time. So this particular site is a site that was built by April, where she was offering people homes that she did not own, of course, with no qualifying and no credit check and bad credit being okay. And she called it Hossinger Homes. Hossinger happens to be one of the last names that she uses. And Thomas was completely unaware that this was going on under his nose. You really can't lend out property or rent property that you don't own. But taking down payments and that kind of thing, you know. And we see here, there is her picture. This is one of the latter scams that we didn't even bother to go into much because there were so many others to choose from, as you will see when you continue to watch this video. Now, if you notice here, this website wasn't even complete.
Okay. First thing is everybody form your own opinion. I mean, I get along with people that people say they're very hard to get along with and this and that. So do your research. I mean, this is not, even if this is legal or if it's not legal or what, I mean, there's a lot of disproof of or debunking of this stuff working or whatever. Because for one, I don't know because I haven't done my research. Mm-hmm. But just always look into, this is a big deal. I mean, this is your life you're talking about. And to put it, my experience now with April, I would not put my life in her hands.
So can you tell me, do you suspect that April knows that she's defrauding others? I mean, is that the general sense that you have at this point, or?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's way too much evidence to the contrary. Mm-hmm. That nothing that she works, everything that she's talking about is being debunked.
Right.
Time and time again with proof. I mean, there's no way that she can believe that this is something that's, genuine. So okay. Absolutely she knows this is fraud.
Okay.
Contrary to popular belief over on April's channel, her children started to get in touch with me via my comment section. John Brush is one of April's older sons. He is an adult, has his own family, and there is an actual interview with John on my channel in the link in the description in the playlist. And he was informing us that she had serious scams prior to this. If you want to listen to those, I would encourage you to do so before doing business with this woman. What he is referring to here is Thomas, who actually signed for a lot of the things using his credit that they were using in the office. And as a result, he was screwed out of all of that money. This is Victoria. Victoria is her daughter. And this is another one of her adult children, Chris Brush. What you're looking at here is the petition and some of the statements at that time that were made on the petition. However, if you go to the link in the description where the Scam Stingers petition is, you'll see that there are 300 complaints now and many, many comments in the comments section in order for you to take a look at. One of them is from just 1 month ago. This is a scam from 2012 that April was running on websites. And what she would do is put up an advertisement, and in the event that you answered, she would charge you a down payment and then never do the work. This was someone out of Los Angeles that was staying on top of her, trying to notify people at the time that Websites by April LaJune was a scam. Here is a ripoff report. Now there are more than what are on here, but here is one specifically where an actual person who purchased one of her packages attempted to try to question her about her authentication of her notary public qualifications. She lost it, and they began to be concerned that potentially she could be a con artist, and as a result, didn't purchase her package. Here's another one off of Ripoff Report. This one's been on there a long time. It's from the manager of a B&B that she worked for. This was another scam that she ran. This person actually contacted me and informed me that April took over $60,000 from her elderly father. This is the Durango Herald reporting on right-wing radio host running a scam on the side. Excuse me, this is Esquire magazine. This was written by a reporter that has been reporting for Esquire magazine for many, many, many years. He's 73 years old. His name is Charles Pierce. Here is Colorado Polls warning people of the Durango area wingnut scam artist and how they're exposing her for the Treasury direct account scam. There was fraud that came out of the La Plata County Republican group that were doing the what do you call it? The voting polls, and they were investigating that at the time. She was part of that group. All of these links will be in the description. So that video was done a year ago. Now let's step this up to sooner. If you just take a look at April LaJune scam or April LaJune fraud, you're going to find that there are a ton of results that come up. So Rational Wiki actually has a warning up on their site that was put up August 14th of 2019. And this, of course, has to do with the Treasury direct accounts that she lays claim to, being able to help you access, supposedly. Here is the Durango Herald article. Business owner accused of defrauding customers. This was from 2018, and this has complaints from customers in it. The link will be in the description. Colorado polls, Durango area wingnut scam artist exposed. And, of course, it will be linked in the description for you to look at. These are mainstream media outlets, people. There's a Facebook group, Stop April LaJune in A4V Redemption Scammer. And there are people that are on there commenting about how they've been scammed by April LaJune. This is the Scam Stingers petition, which I'm about to show you, that has been signed by 300 people and have tons of comments of people that have been ripped off by April LaJune. In May of 2018, the Southern Poverty Law Center put up on the Sovereign files that April LaJune made the top of the list for her scamming. And then we have Esquire magazine, right-wing radio host running scam. That one is was in the video. You can take a look at that. The link is in the description. Mainstream media, they're trying to warn you. Here is the same petition. Okay, over here you will notice on Pinterest, Unirock put out a warning to people because he knew that April was running scams. And there are pages that you can run through. But most of it is on my YouTube channel. There are more ripoff reports. There are more people that came forward and gave interviews, including a gentleman who is disabled and on oxygen named Kevin Buford that was scammed by April. She loves to prey on the elderly and the disabled, we have noticed. She is someone that if you think she's your friend, wait a few months. If you have paid for her package, she will disown you rapidly when you start asking questions. There are tons of people that can attest to this. There are interviews from her family members who have asked for her just to stop scamming people, to please go straight. Won't happen. As a matter of fact, she does nothing but speak out against her own children who have begged her to please stop. There are tons of pieces of information, and if you have done business with LaJune and are either not seeing results or seeing results that are different than what you expected, which will at some point be 100%, because none of these pieces of paperwork work the way she claims, and a lot of them can get you into trouble. You are welcome to contact me at virgotriad at protonmail.com, and I will give to you the information that you need in order to turn this in. Until there are enough complaints with regards to this con artist, law enforcement is not going to take quick action. They're going to continue to monitor. That is what we have seen in the past with con artists. In addition, there has to be a large grouping of people that come forward and demand action. I'm going to take you over to the comments on the April LaJune has defrauded hundreds, remove her channel from YouTube petition. So, just a month ago, Susan Crane put up, I'm signing because she is scamming people out of their money, promoting a fraudulent TDA, claims that we all own an account when in fact we don't, and people are going to prison over her misinformation about TDA and losing $500 on this scam. From August 14th of 2019, she is a ripoff artist, and I can't stand the idea of her getting away with something like this. And there are so many more. All you have to do is take a look in the comment section of the petition, which you are welcome to sign also, because the sooner we can get this into Google with all of the signatures on it, the sooner we can possibly get this stopped, at least off of social media platforms. Look at the amount of these, you guys. Okay? If you still think that April is your friend, then I'm sorry, but you deserve what you get. Because honestly, there is a ton of information that's out there that provide you with documentation and proof that April has been a con artist her entire life. I hope everyone takes heed of this, and I hope everyone shares this to make sure that people who do not deserve to lose their hard-earned money to a scam artist like April LaJune don't.